Right. Hello and welcome to Adventures in Lollygagging. I'm so glad they didn't hear what we were talking about. Anyway, we're playing Holler for Savage Worlds tonight. We haven't played this in a while, so this could be fun. Is that an Adam in the chat throwing a sub out? 15
Already.
months, but only a 12-month streak. So he did he had a break where he was not too pleased with our content, and he's like, I just need to take a break from this. And yeah, now I don't know. Whatever.
I wonder if that lines up when you killed Big E.
Oh, that makes sense.
Oh.
That makes
Yeah.
sense. I mean,
Yeah.
I don't really think of it as me killing Biggie, but the audience killed Biggie. They
Well, that's
just
true.
they just gave so many bits
That's how
out
the
that
story
night
goes.
to get it done. But anyway, we are back to Holler tonight. It's been a while since we played. I think we should be able to finish, knock on wood. Unfortunately, I don't have a wood desk anymore, so I don't know. I can't do that. I guess do one of those things. I think we should be able to be finishing up the second act of the Blasted Beauty campaign tonight, which means if we do that, you all will get it in advance. But yeah, and I'm also trying a new thing where I don't want to do introductions anymore in long-running campaigns because no one really cares about your characters all that much. They just want to hear us. No, I'm just kidding. I'm just gonna jump right in. Let's just jump right in. Let's give this a try and see how this works. Steven, thank you very much. Just gave me a complication to kill somebody. Thank you. All right.
And I am looking back in my notes, and we still have 7 bennies. So
No, I'm sorry. Those expire, actually.
limited time.
Yeah. You got to use those by the end of the app, or else there's no rollover for those. Rollovers for complications, for sure, of course.
Sure.
But not for that. But yeah. Adam, you're missing 100 bits. You got to throw one more 100 in there to get to the complication. Okay. So now let's do it's been a while, so let's do a quick round table of who everyone is, who everyone's playing, and then we'll dive in. We'll start with Chuck. Chuck, who are you playing?
Double D. Go MacLeod.
Perfect.
My goat, Cletus. Hey.
Yep. Okay, perfect. Dan, who you playing?
Playing Douglas, probably soon to be dead.
Yeah. Yep. I'm just gonna have like a sound effect for everyone. Jeremy, who you playing?
Hey man, I'm playing Double D's little brother, Cletus, Appalachian Ninja.
Okay, perfect. I like this. We're just picking this up and going speedy. Melissa, who you playing?
I'm playing Louisa Palmer. She is our holy roller.
Yeah, that'll work. Bert, who are you playing?
I'm playing Joe. I'm the grease monkey.
All right, and expert with knives. There we go. See, that one actually made sense. And then finally, Joe, who are you playing?
I'm playing Amian, the kid who hasn't died yet, amazingly.
I don't know. There, he likes frogs. We've established it. Okay,
Sure.
so you all have been. So we're picking up third session. Oh my God! Stop. Okay. Third session of this Fiddlers Convention, this annual Fiddlers Convention in Weaver Falls, which is on the west end of the Holler, and you are trying to network and find allies to help your resistance movement against the industrial big boys who are kind of the big bads of the whole setting. So thus far, these are sort of the highlights of what's happened. Joe, and from here on out, I'm referring to character names again. So Joe seems to have befriended a fellow by the name of Arville Smote in the Boys from County Hell, which is a group of folks who ride the fastest horses and scooters and don't seem to have much love for the big boys. Double D has had some flirtatious run-ins with the Midsummer Child, who has invited him and the group to visit their town in Fayfall, which is led by someone by the name of Emerald Divine. Louisa has made friends with Towie Burns, or Towie Hicks, I can't remember. Towie Burns, I think. And you've learned a little bit about the Wardens, which is some kind of extremist mountain folk group that's trying to protect the Holler The Holler's like giant critters and things like that from big game hunting, from like company men and stuff like that. Amian, you played some games of chance with Bastian the Bullfrog Bach, who is a traveling troubadour that probably has a ton of stories that they could share about the Holler. Douglas met a poet named Trini, who's from like the Hogback Hills. Seemed pretty observant. She had the dress. She dressed it all in yellow and things like that, and she like wrote and sketched stuff in her book. Cletus, he ripped off a man's nipple in the gouging circles and chatted up a fellow by the name of John Hively from Stumptown, and he was talking about Royster Whitaker, who's one of the big boys, and how he keeps sending off these loggers into demon-encrypted infested forests near Furpo in the Stygian Peaks, another place. On the second day of the festival, the woman who organized the whole thing, Vernalyn Gash, she got really upset when this congregation of folks from Lester Polston's Church of the Anointed showed up, and they were proselytizing about old Lester and the heaven on earth he's created out on the Piney Dirge Plateau. And one of those congregants, Rennie Harp, spoke with a few of the group, and this is where we ended last session, and confessed that not all is as perfect as it seems in the Piney Dirge, and that Lester has been having these apocalyptic visions of a clash against the big boys and the riders of industry, and how that it somehow annihilates the plateau. And like part of those visions was an emergence of a group of disciples that he's been calling the Riders of Revival. And Rennie Harp thinks that might be you all for reasons. And so she's going to contact you should that prove true, because Lester needs to learn more about y'all and get some more visions.
Just to interrupt real quick, Jeff, welcome Raiders, 20 sides to every story. Okay,
perfect. Thank you. Sorry, I was going through a very long summary, but thank you for the raid. Oh, I see all the first-time chats. Awesome. Chuck, why are you throwing all those feet out there?
They remind me of you.
Wait, what?
Melissa and I have a deal.
What? I don't know what else going on. Okay, so that's the summary. So that's where we've been. That's what we've been doing the past few weeks, past few sessions, and so we are going to begin now, middle of day 2 of this Fiddlers Convention. And we'll say everyone's roughly in the same area, back together, etc. And that's when Vernalyn Cash, who's the organizer of this whole thing, you see her. She gets up on the main stage where folks have been, performing various bits of music, and she kind of calls for us like, "All right, now, y'all, come on closer in, closer. Come on, everybody. You know what time it is. It is the time that everyone's been waiting for. It's time for the free jamboree." And you hear like people hooting and hollering left and right of you, and this is like the main attraction. Now, what we have here is we've got ourselves a wonderful little contest, and she kind of holds up this fiddle, this like really kind of pretty kind of fantastic looking fiddle. Now, anyone in the crowd is welcome to enter. The degree of your musical talent and acumen can vary, of course. Just anybody who's got the spit and the vinegar and the excitement to come on up here and perform, you have the opportunity to win the legendary Jimmy Silver's fiddler right here. Now y'all know Jimmy Silver, right? Everyone you know. It's just kind of like looking out, and people are kind of shouting out, yeah. If anybody feels like they would know a story about a local folk musician, you're welcome to roll a folklore test if you want to like know ahead of time or know anything about them. But if you don't,
go ahead and roll that unskilled. Just see what happens.
Yeah, it's fine.
Got a one.
That's why.
Okay.
I don't think I have folklore.
Okay. Douglas. Oh, look at you, Dan, rolling well. Okay.
It ain't the
Looks like
foggy bottom
Still
boy.
a 5.
Okay, a few of you don't really have any idea, but a few you do know. Looks like the kid, Amian. Looks like Louisa and Douglas all kind of have some knowledge of this. Jimmy Silver is known as like this legendary fiddle player who used to like the story was told. Whether it's true or not is different different situation, but used to wander around the woods around Weaver Falls and such, and they say that his play was magical. Like, it wasn't just really good fiddling play, but somehow it was magical, and that he could actually charm animals, and he could charm like folks and calm them down, and like whenever there was a fight, he'd pop in, he'd start going at that fiddle, and people would suddenly just feel a little bit better. Feet would start moving, people start dancing, and everyone start getting into kind of a better mood. And so the winner of this contest is getting this here fiddle. And so you can see a bunch of people start getting up on the stage, ready to go, kind of throwing their hat into the ring. You can see Bastion the Bullfrog Buck. He's gone and getting up there. A couple other people you might have recognized. Did any of you want to take a chance at this?
Hey, I'm gonna do it.
Hell yeah, man.
I technically have performance, so why not?
Hell yes.
I'll
Okay.
do it for
Still,
it.
you can have.
Okay.
I think there was some after-hours singing that Louisa did one of the last times. So
Oh my God. Okay.
Surprise.
All right. So is anyone not partaking? Okay. So no Joe. Is everybody else doing something? Is anyone going up together? Is anyone going to do?
Joe don't like being the focus of any kind of attention. See,
That's fair.
No.
Yeah, that's consistent.
I think we all do it individually. We'll have a better chance of getting something like plain odds.
Okay. So this is what you're going to do. Everyone, so we're just one at a time. We'll just do it according to the overlay. Double D,
Hey.
you're up there. There's a whole line. There's like about a dozen
Hey.
different people who are getting ready to go. And Double D, you lead off the whole thing. Like, okay, y'all, we got ourselves a fresh new face. And she kind of looks at you. Well, a new face.
Hey, all right,
Well,
all right.
a face that many of us haven't seen all that often. So go ahead and put your hands together for what's your name?
Double D.
Uh,
Double
for double
D.
Double D.
There's it.
Go ahead and roll a performance test, and then give us a brief narration of what Double D does when he goes up here.
Critically failed.
Raised like a mule.
Doing something that's spoken word poetry. We've been spending most of our life living in a gangster's paradise. That's it. Yeah.
You that's it. You get like one line in, and you stop, and you just out. And
It's like the hook where they pull you
Vernon-
off the stage.
everyone's just kind of staring up at you. Probably 3/4 of people didn't understand what you said. And Verlin comes back. Well, all right. Well, thank you there, Double D. Thank you. And then you just hear like this slow kind of.
Oh, better quiet.
And then they start clapping a little bit more. Next up, we got oh, look at this. We got ourselves a mountain man coming down here on the stage here. What's your name, mister? This is going to be you, Dan. Are you performing, Dan?
Yeah, I mean, not well, but
Okay. So,
song
yeah.
that my pappy taught me.
Okay, we got ourselves a nice little song handed down from his pappy. I'm sure, is your pappy out in the audience?
No, he's dead.
Oh, well, that's awkward. Okay, well, that's a shame. Don't worry, we ain't gonna kill you if you don't do well, as you can tell from your friend.
Oh, good. Well, that's better than he did.
Okay, all right. So go ahead and roll your performance, and then describe what happens. Oh my god. Okay. Definitely
Apparently
better than Double
scratch
D.
something out. But you know what? Because why not? Let's just spend a Benny on and re-roll it.
Oh man.
Ooh.
Okay. Man, Dan's feeling feisty tonight.
There you
Oh.
go.
It's up to
Oh,
an
look
8.
at that. Oh, shoot. That's my bad. Okay. Wow. That's a raise. Okay. So that means
I
you
even
actually
hold
do.
it the right way this time.
Okay. So what kind of music do you play? Like, what do you do? Like when you're up there? Eight's
Gosh,
pretty
I
good,
don't
man.
even know. I assume it's probably something pretty basic, but
Okay. All right. Do you play? I mean, like, there's other instruments around. Like, you can use some sort of bass instruments and stuff like that people have up there. There's different bands
the
that have set up
jug.
stuff. Do you do that? Do you get a jug? Okay.
let's say just a fiddle or something.
Okay.
Something you can play on your own.
Okay. All right, and you can tell like there is genuine clapping and applause going on. People whistling, "Yo, daddy would be proud!" Woo! Yo, daddy would be proud, and all that kind of stuff kind of going on. Go ahead and take a Benny back for such a wonderful performance. Chuck, you don't get one because you critically failed. All right. All right, and so like, and she comes out. I think we've got a new leader in the clubhouse. You see a couple other folks kind of come up in between you all. You see this one woman comes up. She like comes up after Douglas. She's got this beautiful kind of crooning voice. She sings this murder ballad or something like that, and this song of like it's like a half love story, half murder ballad. You see this other person comes up. And you can tell is definitely an old-time spiritualist kind of doing some sort of revivalist type song. And then it's like, and then she turns like, okay, we got ourselves another new name on here. Probably not familiar. We got ourselves a fellow by the name of Cletus. Is there a Cletus ready to come on up?
Yes, ma'am.
You see Cletus wander up. Well, all right. I thought Double D was big, but okay. What are you going to play for us?
Spoons.
You can play spoons.
Hell yeah, I'm
All
going to play
right.
spoons.
I'm very excited. Excellent. Wonderful. Well, we got ourselves a spoon man here, okay? Now, everyone, I want you to all come together with your hands for this spoon man, okay? Roll that performance test. That's for you, Adam. So describe how it looks.
Well, he's just slapping his thigh with the spoons and sometimes slapping the top of the spoons with sand.
You see there's people out there that are like,
spoons.
every now and then you get into a rhythm and you have like a good couple of bars where it sounds pretty good and they're like, all right, boy, there you go. And then you just kind of fall apart. But you can tell like you're close enough that like the proper musicians that are all around her, and there are, and you guys know like who the proper musicians are, and like they look at you and like you can see like that bot guy, that the bullfrog, he's kind of encouraging you. The woman who's saying the murder ballad, she's like, come on boy, you can do it, there you go, come on. And everyone's very encouraging and happy. People are singing, laughing and stuff. But then you know, you kind of have a couple bad bars and it gets a little, oh no, it's all right, you can do it. And eventually you finish up. You get applause, very respectful applause, a little condescending, but respectful nonetheless. And
A for effort.
Yeah, definitely an A for effort. Definitely an A for effort.
I'll take my blue ribbon.
Okay. You certainly get a participation trophy. Next up, you see this like banjo player come up. He kind of goes on for a bit. You see him. He's not so much singing as he's just kind of going off on all these. Oh, this is a beautiful like riff. And then it comes over and we got ourselves another spiritualist. We got Miss Lace Palmer. Come on up here. What are you gonna sing for us?
Okay. I wanted to do the roll and see how it went.
Oh God, that's 2.
No. So she was planning to do like a call and response kind of a thing. And so she's trying to kind of get kind of the clapping going on and kind of the foot stomping going on. And she's like trying to get a call and response. And she is clearly pulling from something that is like very not well known. And so like she's like thinking that like other people are going to know what to respond to. And, you know, everybody's like,
yeah. And you know, like you stumble over top of it too. Like there's a pause and they don't say anything. And then like someone shouts out like thunder. I don't know what the hell you can hear people in like the front row of the stage like, I don't know what the hell she's trying to say. I don't think this is a song. I think she's just making it up as she go. Like this ain't no revivalist spirit. I don't feel the Lord coming into me from this. Okay. And Verlin comes up. She's like, okay, well, thank you very much, Louisa. That was an experience that we will all remember. Thank you very much. Now, why don't you go take a seat by your friend Double D, and I'm sure we will not see you again. Okay.
And so one of her hindrances is raw nerves. Which the way I'm going to play that is that you can see that she's kind of got the shakes as she's coming off, and this has unsettled her a bit, so she's going to disappear for a little bit.
Okay. Aw, very nice. Take a penny for that. You're playing a hindrance. I'm supposed to do that. You're supposed to do that when you play the hindrance. Okay. Then next up, the guy that you've been talking with, Amian, Bullfrog, he comes up, and you remember him. He's got that deep bass voice. He's this like heavy crooner. He's also got he's a guitarist, and so he plays this really kind of deep, like kind of soulful, meaningful, like kind of bluesy tune that everyone just seems to kind of just absolutely adore. And you hear the crowd just kind of going wild, like that boy Bullfrog, that boy. There we go. Now we got ourselves. There we go. That's the one right there. That is the winner right there. And Amian, do you go up?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. And you start going up, and like you know Bullfrog's there as you're coming on. He's getting off, and he's like, "Nah, you ain't gonna beat me in this one too, are you?" It kind of gives you a little rough on the head. Well, good luck, boy. Good luck, boy. But no cheating your way through this one. Gives you a wink. Very friendly as you kind of come on up.
Mm-hmm.
All right, go ahead and roll yours.
All right. Is there a particular, or it's performance, right?
Performance, yeah. If you don't have it, it's unskilled.
I do not have it. Let's do unskilled.
Oh my gosh. I've never seen so many critical failures. Oh, goodness.
Guys, I might have a chance of doing okay tonight.
You do, yeah.
I feel like this
You
is
are-
a true representation of like karaoke.
I feel like Amian just walks out, like opens his mouth and just turns around and leaves. Doesn't like how many people there.
And you hear like a couple folks kind of like start to boo, but then they get shut down by the crowd. They're like, no, none of that. Ain't gonna do nothing. Young boy was a little nervous. He's first time. Come on, there's no reason to get like that. But now it's all right. You want to come back out here, boy? You can give it a try. You know, we don't need to move on just yet. And like everyone's kind of waiting and looking, and you're not really, you're kind of hanging out behind the stage. You kind of motion, get them to go. And so you see Verna Lynn comes back out like, well, we had wonderful contestants. And I think we all kind of know where we're going with this. And like they bring out like Bullfrog, they bring out Dogless, and she does the whole like, all right, if you think it was our mountain man Dogless, and she puts her like she reaches up, puts her hand over your head. You hear crowd start shouting stuff like that. People do the same thing with Bullfrog, and everyone's going crazy. And then right as she's like reaching over to grab the fiddle, you hear like this really quiet voice pop up from the side. And like, excuse me, ma'am, but I believe you didn't call my name. Oh, I am so sorry there, Cecil. I'm so very sorry. We have one more contestant, ladies and gentlemen. The young fella here, roughly same age as Amian, actually, like kind of like young, kind of teenage kid comes up. Well, come on up. Now, those of you that are nearby, you're watching him. He's kind of got a weird demeanor about him. He kind of seems sort of quiet and eyes kind of far off, and then he kind of pulls out like this modest-looking fiddle, and he just starts slowly, and he kind of builds up. And the whole time he's playing, you can see that like his eyes just seem like completely distant and like fixed on some sort of like far off place in the woods or the sky. And his demeanor is kind of unsettling. Like you can see he's wooden in some way, but his hands as he's playing the fiddle are moving with like this preternatural speed that just honestly just doesn't even make sense. And like even Bullfrog Douglas is like, he's standing next to you, he kind of leans over, is like, well, I think we just lost this one, boy. And this kid just keeps going and going. And when he's done, you see him just like very stiffly, doesn't really acknowledge the applause, doesn't bow or anything like that. He just leaves the stage, and like Verna Lynn comes out, and like the crowd's going wild, just absolutely wild and sort of absolutely insane. And she's like, well, okay, I guess we got another contestant up here. Like, well, come on up, let's see. And she kind of puts the hand over top of Cecil's head, and the crowd very clearly at this point is just cheering more for this new kid Cecil than it does for Bullfrog and Douglas. So you did get top 3, Douglas. Anybody who wants can roll roll an occult test. And so while y'all are doing that, Verlin, she brings Jimmy Silver's legendary fiddle, kind of wanders over and hands it over to the kid, who just bows with this very, very...
You guys are monsters of occult knowledge.
Right?
Holy crap,
Jeez.
Double D. You went from a 1 to a 21.
I mean, he did spend a couple of nights with those midsummer ladies.
Yeah.
It's true. So you see as like this very stiff exchange is happening, you're watching his hand move in a speed that just is impossible, right? It's utterly impossible. I would say Double D, and a few of you passed, right? I think a few of you passed. Amian, you got a raise too. Cletus, that's a pretty solid roll. I would say Cletus, you're fairly confident that there's some sort of magical shenanigans that might be at work here. So, he's under the effects of something. Double D and Amian, I mean, something in the back of your mind is probably giving you this sort of like demonic kind of feeling to it. Like, man, I think that boy is possessed. And so all of this, like, while you all are kind of observing and watching, like, the handover of the fiddle, you see everyone's kind of, going crazy. Like, they're all calling for, like, some sort of, like, encore or whatever. He just kind of takes the fiddle, turns, and he just starts leaving the stage and climbing down.
Let's go head him off.
Okay. What do you do?
I'm gonna, with the direction he's walking, I'm gonna like, go around so I can get in front of him and like stop and be like, hey, please don't tell me you ain't right. You got that.
I'm sorry? I thought
What you doing to that boy's body?
This is my body. What are you talking about, sir?
You done got the, someone help me. Words.
I'm
Boy,
sorry, sir.
do you even know how to actually play like that, or did that just come to you?
I'm sorry, sirs. I need to take Jimmy's fiddle back to him. So
Joe has no idea what's going on. I did not make my roll, but everyone seems pretty tense. He's got a knife out. He just looks a little.
Wait, is Jimmy even supposed to be alive?
Those of you who rolled your folklore tests and passed, which I think a couple of you did pass. No, he died a ways ago, a couple years back.
Yeah, I mean, Jimmy Ghost done playing through you.
I really do need to get going. I gotta get there at dusk, or Jimmy won't be there.
I come with you. I want to see this ghost.
Mm-hmm. Yep, it is dangerous out there.
Okay. 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 Well, I
Said
got
the two large men wanting to accompany you through the woods.
Yep.
All right. So it's a ways though. I mean, if you
It's fine.
want to stay at the party, it's gonna be a while.
I got my good boots on. We can walk.
Okay, that's fine. Like he's in a cave, like a couple miles away. I'm gonna get going. So how many of you are all you going? Is anyone hanging back and not going, doing something else, or are we all going?
Definitely interested. So, yeah, I'd want to.
I mean, if everyone's going, I'll probably go. But
yeah, you. I would say, Douglas, you do get it's even though you didn't win, you did finish third. And so as they're kind of continuing to give out like prizes and stuff, Bullfrog, he has a prize. You see Verlin hands over to you a mouth harp. It's like, here you go. I know it ain't Jimmy's fiddle, but you have a very, I must say, you have a surprising amount of musical talent hidden amongst the hair on your head and your face, and I would assume your back as well. And so here, I think maybe next year you come on out and we'll see how much you've learned. So you can actually take a mouth harp and put it in your inventory.
nice.
Ooh.
Do that.
Does anyone
telling
go
you, man.
find Louisa?
I got something fun to do.
No, this is no
I
longer part of
think
the plan.
I'd be sympathetic as to my awful performance as well. So I'd probably run off and look for you.
Okay.
I'm just going to yell out for everyone real loud and real bellow on out. Lisa, Joe, Amian, Cletus. Oh, Cletus, you're right here. Doglet. Oh, you're right there. No, you're over there. All right, come on, let's go. We got to go.
And he's doing all this, by the way, while a band is like starting to play as like everything's over. They're like, and he's just shouting over, and they're looking down. And he's like, boy, what the hell are you doing?
I'm begging you, shut up.
I believe you are bigger than me, and I will indeed shut up. Yes.
All right.
Amian will come across Louisa, and she was kind of off to the side, and you see her kind of head bowed, and she's sort of muttering to herself, and she's just sort of saying, I know. It's not supposed to be about recognition. It's not supposed to be about winning things. But I thought just maybe once.
Yes, I got a battle card now.
She just sort of keeps her head bowed for a second and just turns around.
You see Douglas with his brand new mouth harp.
Well, I'm just so happy for you. You have been blessed today. Yes, you have. And you see her kind of wiping her face.
Well, yours is real good. Maybe I can try and do some spoons with you next time.
I think we've seen whose skills lie where, and she'll come with you, but she's kind of slowed a bit, kind of in the back.
Wait, like there's a lot of people. It's okay.
Then you kind of
Plus,
see
there's
it.
no place for him to go but down. But we're building up.
Y'all
Might be right.
are very kind.
All right, so group gets together, and you start following this kid. He's not moving at a particularly difficult pace, so even those of you who are lingering back, it's not too difficult to kind of catch up with him. Like he's moving. He's like probably around 14 or something, give or take. But you can see, he hasn't lied. He's kind of going through the woods. There's no
getting
paths
late
or
into
roads.
the day. Isn't
Yeah,
it?
it's closing on dusk, and he
I want
specifically
to go grab
said,
some light from the car. Then
Sure, yeah,
something.
yeah. While they went and got Louisa, we can say Joe went and grabbed like a lantern, whatever you guys are using. You all, you all kind of follow along, and you can see the sun's going down. There's enough light that you're okay for now. On the, if you choose to go back, you're probably going back at night if you, or you camp out, one of those things. But you can see that it's a good like hour's travel through some woods, and there's all these different like cave entrances that you pass along the way. They're all in the the hillsides of like Weaver Mountain. It just looks like this like pockmarked entrance. It's just so many different things. But he seems to know exactly where he's going. But he kind of leads up to this cave entrance. But he turns to y'all and he says, "Y'all need to. Could y'all hide in the bushes while I call Jimmy? He might not come on out if he sees y'all with me. Please."
Yeah, all right.
All right.
Just bushes over there, probably fine. Maybe that bush for the bigger ones that you. Cletus. Appalachian nature. Okay. So, does everyone do that and hide and everything?
All right.
Yep.
All right. You don't have to necessarily roll just yet. So as you're watching, it's definitely dusk at this point, right? The sun's barely hanging on, and you can see he's like waiting around for a little bit, and then he looks around, he sees like you guys are all hidden, and then he unleashes this like strange, like unholy yodel that he just repeats over and over again to the point where it's kind of unsettling. It's perfectly in tune and key, and a few moments pass, and he is just staring at the mouth of this dark cave, and you see him kind of swaying ever so slightly here and there right in front of it. And as y'all are watching, a raven flies out from the cave's mouth, and it's just like flapping and flapping just past the boy's head. And he doesn't flinch at all. He's just continuing to stare straight ahead, continuing to kind of waver a little bit. And the raven flits into this like, nearby area, kind of starts limping around a bit, and then lets out a call that actually matches Cecil's yodel like perfectly, and then lands on the ground behind him. And that's when you see Cecil turn around. He faces the raven, and as he does, you guys watch, all of you watch as these dark, blight-like shadows begin to rise from the raven, beginning to kind of obscure both of them, both the raven and Cecil. And then when the shadows break, you see a very tall man with fair features and a friendly face is standing in place of where the raven was just a moment before. Everyone go ahead and make a fear test. That's a spirit roll. As this transpires right in front of you. So we'll start with that.
I'm going to spin a Benny for that.
Okay. Yeah, looks like I got a fail for Louisa and a fail for Amian. Oh, Amian, you pushed? Okay.
Mm-hmm.
Gotcha.
I'm trying to remember, how many bennies are we supposed to start with?
You start with 3. Sorry if I didn't said it.
Oh,
That's all good.
Okay.
So
Okay.
I should have 2.
Looks like everyone passed, from what I could tell. Your push, you push, right? Or not push. You spent a Benny.
Mm-hmm.
Right, Louisa? Okay. So it looks like everyone passed. You kind of keep your wits about you. It was like maybe hands starting to shake a little bit, like this confusion, like especially those of you who have fairly confident knowledge that this there's something nefarious happening. Let's see, who was it? It was it Double D who had like the 20-something roll for the occult.
Hey.
I'm not gonna have you reroll. That was such a good roll. We'll just count it here as well. You would conclude, like, you would probably piece together at this point between like observing this and his, like, with Cecil specifically stressing dusk and how we need to get back, and looking at what just happened. This is what you've heard of as a dusk demon. And they lurk in like twilight hours, like they're specifically working, like they do their business and such during this time of day, and they're it's kind of devious and plotting. And there's like 2 stories, I would say, with your 20 plus, you would probably know like 2 specific anecdotes that you probably heard of. One was this person called the Bunked Town Butcher, who was more or less a kind of serial killer. Started like kind of cutting up his neighbors and such and putting them in a freezer. And then there was another woman who they called the debutante of Dogwood, and kind of did the same thing, except she was specifically like attacking and targeting and killing all these other like Dogwood, all the other beautiful women of Dogwood, right? They're not like these horrific looking creatures. They just look usually like just normal people. But I would say Double D, with your ridiculous roll, maybe you even had an encounter with one in the past. That's probably what you would conclude. No. Good.
Yeah. Oh, just looking around, seeing who's there next to me. Whoever be close, I'm gonna whisper, "Oh, that's there's dusk demon. It done nasty things, cause people, murder people. I'm not saying we shouldn't punch it, but I'm saying the baby we shouldn't punch it."
No, man, I got a plan, man.
All right, I'm in.
I'm gonna sneak up and I'm gonna break that fiddle if that's what the demon wants.
I like it.
As you're saying that, you do see Cecil he hands that fiddle over. The demon kind of takes it, and you can kind of looks at it, and you're almost like heart's kind of beating heavy, breaths are held, and he just kind of holds it up and starts playing this like amazing tune, like just going absolutely crazy. And you can see Cecil, the kid, just starts dancing around to it. What do y'all want to do?
We'll sneak up and punch that there thing and hopefully break it.
Okay. All right. So
You can just stare in terror. Just
Doug is staring in the back. Okay. So if you're sneaking out Cletus, now would be the time for that sneak.
That seems a good idea.
It'll be
Smart.
contested
Stealth.
by. I'm not going to worry about Cecil, but I'll do a.
Will you roll that?
All right, I'm going to roll a notice by the dust demon. Okay, doesn't notice you it is getting dark. You're shifting from rock to rock. Is anybody else sneaking up with Cletus, or is he the only one that's taking this?
Ain't sneaking out. As soon as he does his thing, I'm charging in like one
I'll
of them
sneak up as
rhinoceros.
well.
Okay, all right. Amian's getting up there, so Amian, go ahead and roll that sneak.
Joe's got a fistful of knives ready to throw.
Okay, perfect. The special ones too, right? You got the fancy ones you got, and then Douglas, you're hanging back. Double D's hanging back. Louisa, are you hanging back as well?
Yeah,
Oh,
Louisa would hang back.
Why?
Oh no.
Oh, no.
Louisa would hang back and try to smite character Joe's one of his knives.
Okay, sounds good. Okay, so a couple things are going to happen. Cletus, you take one path, and you're kind of carefully moving, boulder to boulder, tree stump to tree stump, bush to bush, and you're being as Appalachian ninja as you can be. Amian, you take a different path, and you also take a different tactic as you're kind of moving, and at a certain point, as everyone's kind of getting ready, Cletus, you're right there in position, ready to leap out, and that's when Amian stumbles, falls, and you see like maybe a pot or a pan just goes spilling out and like making all sorts of noise. And the demon just turns its head into the right, like towards it, and you can hear like a ah! And like with like this utter shock is going to lunge out towards Amian. And because it's a critical fail, I'm going to let this happen. Cletus, you could still get the drop when the time comes, but I'm going to let the dust demon get an attack off on Amian. So I'll put the token on the map so you all can target and everything. So I don't have an actual map for it, but I'll put it on that. So this is Amian, right? That's what I said.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, this will be against Amian. So he's just gonna like lunge forward towards you as you're trying to get up and just try to bite you in like the back of your head. With a 7, will hit, and roll some damage. 3 points. It does manage to sink into you, but like the collar of your coat kind of protects the neck from behind, but you can feel like the pressure. All right, at this point, we don't want to do a full. We don't need a full initiative since it's all versus one. But I'm gonna get Cletus. We'll start with you because you were getting up in there.
Okay. I'll just use my drop to mitigate the called shot to the instrument, maybe? Does that seem fair?
Yeah, you can tell like he's like it's just kind of off to the side. Like he like as he lunges towards Amian, he just sort of it's kind of hanging down his arm. It doesn't look like he swung with it or anything. He's just kind of holding it off to the side. If you just want to roll normal towards it, yeah, that's fine.
Yeah, I'm not even really attacking him. My number one goal is to try and break that thing.
Okay. Oh man. So yeah, you leap out from behind the kind of the boulder near the entrance to the cave, and as this demon is like recoiling from its attack on Amian, you take that opportunity to just with your big old meaty arms, just swing off to the side. The fiddle goes flying and smashes up against a boulder, and you can see the strings kind of break apart. The neck you can see is cracked here and there. You hear the demon like look off and scream like, ah! But you also hear Cecil screaming, and he's just like,
oh no!
What are you doing? Why are you doing that? He's my friend. Stop it! And he's going to lunge at you, Cletus. And he starts swinging, but it's totally ineffectual. Like, he's just like, you see him, he just like leaps onto Cletus and starts just beating him with his fists.
Now listen
Okay.
here, child. You see that thing biting that other little boy in the head? When you see something biting little children in the head, you don't give them what they want. That's just math.
stay hiding. He's my friend. Leave him alone. That's Jimmy. Leave him alone. All of you that were. That's not fair. I'm a child. You're not supposed to call me stupid.
I'll call you stupid. My dad called me stupid.
Those of you that are in the back that were kind of prepping things, Luis, I saw you got your spell off, so you got the smite on Joe's knife.
Yeah, but with a raise, so it's a +4 to damage.
Ooh,
Okay.
nice.
All right, so Luis, your action's taken. So Double D, Douglas, and Joe. What all do you want to do?
I'm charging. I'm gonna punch it. Thump
Okay.
on the ground and just hit it.
Okay, you're charging in, Joe. You're throwing a knife. So Joe, why don't you throw yours first? That's probably quicker than the charge, and then Double D, you can go. 5 is it's a throwing attack, so it's a hit. Go ahead and roll damage.
Okay, and how much is it plus?
+4.
Yeah, +4 from her smite.
Plus 4 damage.
Oh my.
And so the legend of the knife thrower grows.
Describe your kill.
Oh my gosh.
It's just right between the eyes.
just
Nice.
like Big Trouble in Little China. You just throw it out. Double D's running. You're about to leap at him, and all of a sudden you're, and then right between the eyes, bearing right into the forehead, falls over, and you see like as the body falls over, Double D, you're right in front of him. Cletus, you're kind of getting harassed now by the kid. Amian, you're still kind of in the process of trying to get up. But Double D, you see this more clearly than anyone. You see the body kind of morph and shift. Like first, like it looks to be kind of growing feathers here and there, and then kind of scales into a snake form, then back to the human, and then eventually it just kind of stops and becomes immobile. And you can see what looks like little bits of feathers kind of sticking out, and like a couple patches of skin are kind of scaly, but otherwise there's like a dead human figure on the ground here. And Cecil, no! What do y'all want to do?
I think you might be peeking yourself out.
Yeah,
Did you
your
mute
volume.
yourself?
Just so you know, your volume is peeking out.
Me?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, whatever.
We couldn't hear anything, so
You didn't hear anything I just said? I don't know why I didn't
No.
know what I said. Oh, so did you hear the stuff
Just
about
the
the
scream.
shifting? Oh yeah, he
Yeah, just-
screams.
Yeah.
He screams.
just-
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well,
Yeah, stream is fine though. Thank you, Ashley.
I might go pick up the poor broken instrument.
Okay. You can go pick it up.
listen
It is
here,
broken.
Knife.
It is broken.
I'm sorry I called you stupid, but look at that scaly son of a bitch. Scaly feathered.
He was
You don't care.
And he just like continuing to punch you, and it's complete, like it's not even harming you. It's a very meek kid, but he's like, I don't care. He was my friend. He taught me
Joe
how
pulled
to
the
play
knife
the
out of
fiddle.
the demon, point at the knife, and point at the kid and go, huh?
No.
I got it. I just picked kid up by a scrub of the neck. Like, you chill out.
Roll an intimidation test, Double D.
Oh my gosh, makes me roll things. I still ain't got that.
You still don't have it. Okay.
Nah, I got one.
Okay. You just see he kind of goes limp for a second, but you can see like his eyes, just like you can tell like he hates you people. Like it's not even like a quivering, like pathetic cry anymore. You just see that shifted, like that sort of I'm sad, and now his face just sort of gets a little dark, and you realize like there's hatred behind those eyes. But he goes limp and he quiets down.
I think we made an enemy.
Louisa will try to come over. And kind of sit down next to him and kind of slap Double D's hands off of the scruff of his neck.
And he falls.
Yeah. And she'll, kind of coming with her background that, there are things in this world that we can't always explain. And some of them are here to help us, and some of them are only here to pretend like they're helping us, but they actually take away our free will. And you know how important free will is, right?
He just kind of turns to you, and it's like a shift has happened. And he just says, "He was my friend, and he taught me to play fiddle, and he never once tried to harm me. And you all killed him. I don't know what a monster is, but I'm pretty sure I'm looking at a few right now."
Got a point.
Where?
Is it worth me rolling persuasion, or is this kind of a done deal?
Yeah, you can roll persuasion. Okay.
Got 5.
He's calm. Can I go now?
I mean, yeah, of course. Just,
He turns and goes.
Wanting his revenge.
Enemy.
And it's dark, and you see him just sort of disappear into the brush, the darkness. Not quite going back necessarily the right direction, just kind of going off away from you all as the sun goes down. You got this broken fiddle, which could be repaired, but it would need to be, it would take some time. You'd probably have to get a proper instrument maker to do it for you. But you definitely have the broken fiddle, Jimmy, which is technically a magical item. Not many of those.
I'm sorry, man. That was their demon that wanted that magic item. I was like,
I think we done did the right thing here. I mean, that thing thinks people kill people. I mean, yeah,
Like they always said, you don't make no deals with no crossroads demons.
yeah. We undealed it.
You end up dead, choking on your own vomit. I mean, sure, you make money for a bit, but you always end up choking on your own vomit. That's what I hear.
It doesn't sound fun.
So it's dark. You are several miles away from the campsite.
Let me light this lantern.
Okay. Do you all want to return, travel in the dark? Do you want to camp out here for the night? What's your preference?
I want to get one last look at that corpse before we leave and make sure it's not still doing anything weird.
Yeah, you can tell, it likely, I mean, I would say all of you probably chatting together can probably piece it together. It had some sort of shape-shifting ability, essentially. Like, you saw it happen. It was a raven form initially, went to a human. It made this, kind of hissing sound, as it kind of launched its head, its kind of teeth at Amian, and then it has these scales. You'd imagine some kind of snake form, maybe, too, kind of shift between. And so, all of that kind of seems to be represented, but it still looks like mostly 90% of it is human. And then in the hair, you can see a handful of raven feathers that are kind of mixed up in the hair and a couple patches.
We need to bring this back with us.
It's entirely up to you guys.
I
Told you
mean,
to come here, so.
That could be an option to just make sure that, if this is where they're kind of doing this all the time, they know it's in the nearby.
I mean, that's one thing. Or maybe we just set ourselves up a fire, camp out, and we put that body in the fire just to make sure he don't kick back up later.
I worry about us coming back with, we left following the kid and we're coming back with this fiddle.
So we just burn the fiddle too.
I mean, you get ready the evidence. Well, yeah, I'm gonna start getting firewood. We're gonna camp with this cat tonight.
Okay. All right.
No kid, mind you. The kid didn't come back either, probably.
Do you want to burn the body? Is that did I misunderstand that?
We're gonna burn it. We're gonna make a fire.
Maybe not the whole thing.
Nah, I'm old. You ain't messing around with no demon parts. I mean, he's the only one who I said take any bits, but I said don't take no bits.
And I don't necessarily think we need to throw that fiddle in there now that we've taken care of.
I don't want to throw
The
the fiddle
devil.
away, but I want to explain why the kid's missing and we have his fiddle when we go back.
I feel like he's going to beat us back and he's going to have a story of how horrible we are. So I think that part's going to be covered.
Yeah.
That no matter how that plays out, we look bad.
Nah, we're not. Well, we are kind of here to make friends, but
Here we got Demon Corpse. Demon Corpse.
well, that was my idea with not burning the body and bringing the body
All right,
back.
all right. I see the thing. I see the points now. Yeah, we keep that body and we keep the fiddle, and then we'll go back and be like, hey, look here. And that's it.
Yeah.
All right.
I think we should
Like
camp in there, right?
Amy, and you found by the way, you found a skinning knife on the body.
Okay. Cool.
All these complications in chat for Jeff.
Okay, so you guys are not burning the body, but you are camping. Is that right?
Right.
Okay.
So,
Yeah.
so we make good decisions.
Okay. Sounds good. So you guys make your camp. You probably have a handful of rations or food on you here or there. Sure. One sec. So camp out. I imagine. Do you guys do some sort of watch or something like that? You don't have to. We don't have to get too specific with it, but
Hey, I do watch. Yeah.
Yeah.
okay.
Yep.
Sorry.
There's plenty of us to.
Yeah.
I've got some good
so
servants.
freaking many of you. Yeah. All right. So. sorry.
Joe's stomach rumbles a little bit, and he goes looking for a little squirrel or something that he can hit with a slingshot and make up some victuals.
Okay, very nice. Let's do
Survival.
Yeah, survival. I was like, who's Salt? And I'm like, oh, that's right. That was Chuck's backup character.
Oh yeah, I thought no D gonna die. He didn't.
I got a deer.
Yeah, you got a big old healthy looking deer that you take down, a buck that you just take down. No issues whatsoever. You bring it back, and you all have a freaking face for the evening.
I drag it into camp. I look at everybody and just say, "Hungry."
All right, let's get it done.
Damn, Joe.
All right.
Is there enough of that for the rest of us, or is that just for you?
Does the deer also have the trademark blade between the eyes?
A shattered skull from the slingshot
Yeah.
rock.
Bro.
Oh, yeah, Joel just set to cleaning it and parting it out.
And Luis is gonna kind of wander around the camp a little bit and just sort of say loudly, like, and if there happens to be any young fellas named Cecil out there who decide that they might be a little bit hungry, we've got some for the sharing. So just kind of wander and say that loudly and come back.
All right. So as the night progresses, you guys have full bellies from eating this this knife in the headed buck that Joe was able to get for you all.
Joel makes sure the viscera is away from camp so we don't get any critters in the night.
Perfect. You guys kind of do some watch duties here and there just in case. Double D, roll a notice test.
Hey, you got it. I'm done. Roll it. Right there. Yeah, full. I done did.
Did you now?
Hey,
Okay. One sec.
I don't know how you said that.
What?
Tricking
I
me.
mean,
Look at that.
okay. So you're so it's like probably middle of the night, you know. Double D is up. He's on watch. You know, everyone else is in various states of sleep. A couple times, you know, you hear the sounds of like, you know, howling here, birds flapping there, owl hooting there, something like that. Every now and then, kind of spooks you, something like that. But it's not too bad. You know, I think I have an owl sound, or maybe not. I don't know. And there it is. And before you're able to kind of really notice it. Like the flapping sounds kind of get like this is like you can start to feel like some wind kind of kick up, the fire kind of dies down, and maybe you're drifting off a little bit. You're kind of keeping your eyes up, just birds flying overhead, and all of a sudden a shadow just kind of drops down right outside the edge of the fire, and then another, and then another, and you hear this ear-piercing wail come out of one of them, while another one lunges at you. This is a complication, as you all.
Oh my gosh.
So let's. I'm gonna move you guys. I'm gonna move everyone over to a map here as we hit ourselves a little complication going on.
Coming after me, Lucky Fiddle.
All right.
That's broken.
All right. So yeah. So I think most of you are sleeping, but I'll let. But the Pierce is gonna wake everybody up. But I need everyone to roll. What is it? Everyone make a spirit roll.
That's a 5.
And if anybody fails, let me know.
What do we need to make?
4 is a
4.
pass. Oop, why is that
Okay.
showing?
Douglas is just full of spirit.
Mm-hmm.
Wow.
Okay, sorry, I was just getting the map.
I had to reroll it though.
All right, anybody fail?
No.
Okay, all of you are distracted, but no one takes any damage. The one that lands right next to Double D is going to take a swing at Double D with the drop.
Oh.
And then we will dive into standard initiative practices, and then you guys can decide what you want to do at that point. But all of you are
No, no.
distracted.
These ain't them sinkhole demons, is they?
This is
Oh,
them
no,
sinkhole
no.
demons.
Oh,
no.
Cave demons.
Oh God!
Yeah, Jeremy's played these before. All right, so you should have. Do you have distracted? Click for yourself, Double D.
No. Where? Let me. Yeah,
It's
I
one of
can
the
do
check mark things next to your wounds and stuff.
that. Got it. Distracted.
Okay. And so this is going to go ahead and attack like normal. That's going to miss despite it being distracted. It does miss, or maybe it hits you but doesn't quite get through your muscular hide. Everyone roll as now all of you wake up and you look and you see these creatures that are like half human, half bat. They have these huge leathery wings. They stand several feet tall. You can see that they almost have like dog-like faces, but with these big old fangs. I think I got a pic I can share even too. Yeah, sure. There you go. All of you go ahead and roll a fear test. As you see, when you wake up, this horrible piercing in your ear, this is what you see.
That's another spirit test.
It is a spirit test. Yeah, this is just for the fear of seeing them.
Am I still distracted?
Yeah, you're distracted until the end of your turn. So
right.
this is all happening like kind of like in their drop kind
Who
of.
all is distracted?
like
Everyone.
everybody.
Oh,
Yeah,
sorry.
it's an automatic distraction. The spirit roll for them is whether they do damage to you
Then
in
I
addition
failed.
to the
If
distraction.
it was a -2.
I also failed.
Okay.
Fail.
Gotta find me. Hang on.
I'm
I'll
afeared.
reroll.
Okay.
I
That's
failed
Douglas.
as well.
All right.
Actually, I'll re-roll.
Yeah, you can Benny it up.
I did worse.
Yeah, the distracted was my undoing.
See?
Okay. Sorry, I mean there's just a lot of complications I was given, so it feels right to do this.
So, how do you want to play this, Jeff? The first time I rolled it, if I subtracted 2 from it, I would have failed. I added the distracted and re-rolled, and then I passed.
If you pass,
I'll just spend a Benny. I'll spend a Benny. and
That
work it
works.
out
That
way.
works. That's fair. Okay. Chuck, did you fail?
I failed. Oh yeah, I failed. Yeah, direction you want. Yeah, I failed.
Okay. Okay, you're already distracted, so no difference for you. Louisa, you passed. Douglas, did you fail?
Yep.
Go ahead. You are okay. So Douglas, you're also vulnerable. So you're distracted and vulnerable until the end of your next turn. Joe, did you pass? Joe, character Joe. So that's you, Bert.
No, I failed.
Okay, so you are panicked. The character immediately moves your full pace, running die away from the danger, and you're shaken. So you wake up, you see these three
So I'm
creatures.
distracted, I'm shaking, and I'm running away.
And you're running at full pace, yeah.
Okay.
Then, Cletus, how'd you do?
I believe I'm good.
Okay. And then, Amian, how'd you do?
I passed.
Okay, you're good as well. All right, so there we go. So let's get into proper initiative. And we'll... Okay. So that should be boom, boom, boom. Sorry, drawing cards.
Ooh, we got Bennies.
Why is it not shuffling? Why is initiative not shuffling?
Amy
One
and got
sec.
the red Joker.
I've got vulnerable still on my sheet from a previous session. Is that still in effect?
That would have gone away because it goes away at the end of your next turn. So that would have gone away a long time ago. All right, turn. Okay, so normal combat round begins. Amian, you got the red Joker. You got +2 to everything. You got an extra Benny and everything. You are up. You're technically distracted at the end of this round, but like it's the end of your turn. But this is what you see. You see this campfire. Suddenly, there's these 3 huge, like, weird bat humanoid creatures that have just swamped down in the night to attack you all. What would you like to do?
Do they seem like adverse to the fire that we have lit? Like, are they kind of sticking away of it, or do they not seem to care about it?
It doesn't seem like they care too much. They literally landed a few feet from it. Doesn't seem like it's...
Okay.
Yeah. And you would imagine, like, it would probably have its normal effect on anybody, but nothing anything specific for them.
I want to taunt to try and like draw them on me to give people time to not be distracted.
Okay.
And then run. How far can I make it? I want to like try and like run like this direction.
Okay, so you're running off to the south there. Roll a taunt test. Let me see if I can make the map look a little better. That's a fail. With a 3.
I'm gonna Benny that. There we go.
Okay.
10.
All right. With a 10, I'll say that definitely 1, maybe 2 of them are kind of like their heads whip over in your direction, and you can see they're kind of like you get the sense that they're going to chase after you. Okay. Joe, you go ahead and it's going to roll your. Okay, so it rolled. Do you want to spend a Benny to?
To unshake? Yeah.
Yeah.
I will.
Okay.
It doesn't seem to have a little thing to spend a Benny.
I think it's.
Well, actually, I guess that's it right there.
Yeah, there's a lot of stuff just popped up. Okay.
So that makes me not shaken, but I still have to run.
Yeah, so you have to run, and what we'll say is at the end of, like, once you do 1 turn of running, I'll say you can make another spirit test at the end of that run to see if you shake that fear.
Okay.
So,
But distracted ends at the end of my turn.
yes. And then you'll roll for whether or not, like, you kind of regain your composure after running away.
Right. Pace is 6, so is that just 6 squares?
Yeah, so
I'll
since
just
it's like
head
your
that way.
full turn, yeah, you just any direction's fine. So you just run off to the north. Okay. And go ahead and roll a spirit test. And if you pass this, we'll say the next turn your fear subsides and you're good to go.
There we go.
Oh my god. Okay, I think I think you feel better now.
Actually, had nothing to do with the creatures. I woke up in the middle of a nightmare and just started running. It's like, oh wait.
Louisa, you are up next. What would you like to do?
So I am going to move just one over to Cletus and see if I can do some relief so that Cletus doesn't get any negatives on his attempt on his turn.
Okay.
So do some faith.
Oh dear.
I'll spend a penny. So we've got some.
Oh yeah, you're still distracted. Yep.
Yep. See if that does better. That does exactly the same. So
It's like you're trying to start a lighter and it's not
yeah,
going.
yeah. I'm just trying to
catching.
kind of rub my hands together and kind of lay on hands, and it's just not working right.
Just keep poking Cletus for some reason. Okay.
You sure do have cold fingers, Miss Louise.
Yeah,
And
exactly.
the one right next to you actually is there. I will, I'll 50-50 it. 1 to 3, it'll be I'll say this is the one that was closest to you two. The other ones will probably chase Amian. So 1 to 3, it'll be Louisa that this one goes after. It does not. It'll instead step up to Cletus. It'll
good.
target- and then it will try to attack with these big old claws. It will miss. And so it kind of, despite the distraction buff, it will miss. Cletus, though, it is your turn now. This thing's in front of you. You're still a little distracted, especially by Louisa poking you. But one is right in front of you.
Very cold hands.
I hate you, stupid fat demon, so much.
Oh.
Oh, my. That is a miss because of the distraction debuff.
It's okay.
Okay, you're good? All right. Wasn't sure if
Now
you
the
were betting.
distraction's gone.
Yeah. Okay. This next one that was right next to kind of near Amian when they wake up will chase after Amian. You see that these have a hell of a pace, though. And it can, in fact, get to you. So it's going to kind of like half run, half like glide as the wings kind of flap a bit. And it's going to, it's going to step right up to Amian. And it will, you taunted him. You're the one who asked for it. So he will swing at Amian. 7 will hit. Damage will come through as well. Let's see. That's some shit damage. So you're fine. Douglas, it is your turn. What would you like
Not
to
the dogs again. I'll probably pick one and attack it.
do? Okay. Closest one to you is the one that is on Cletus. One just
Yeah.
chased after Amian. That double D is next to as well. And then there's one off on its own.
I don't really want to go be by myself because that's how I die, I'm pretty sure. So just take the close one.
Okay. It should automatically calculate the gang up bonus. So I don't think you have
I made sure to actually target him or whatever. So hopefully,
As long as you're using the target feature, it should do all that automatic stuff.
I remembered.
Ooh.
Jesus, man.
Douglas is on fire tonight.
Who are you? And I really think that whole Dan's been replaced by an AI thing might be accurate. These dice
right,
rolls are
yeah.
ridiculous. Yeah, roll your damage, man.
What's to question these things?
Damage to raise.
It's crazy. Oh my gosh. And you got, oh my gosh. Okay.
Add
That is
another
enough.
D6.
He gets another D6.
So you got
What?
a raise. Oh, the system said he got a raise.
He did not get a raise.
Oh, okay.
They have a parry of 6. They have a parry of 6, and they have a toughness of 8. So it is a hit. Damage does go through. It is enough to shake this thing. And so that's what it'll do. So
Oh, I should probably hit but it does say raise on it, so it's odd.
I don't know why. It does
Yeah,
have
it
a
does
parry
that.
of 6, though. They have a parry of 6 and a toughness of 8. So a 9 is actually not enough for a raise. Weird.
Been betrayed by the system.
Double D, it is now your turn. You wake up. Or actually, no, you were awake the whole time. You fail.
I'll stand by that. Wow. I don't want to do that thing where I don't punch the thing 4 times and pow, 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 pow. All right?
Okay. Yeah. So you want to punch things 4 times. So you're doing a multi-attack action, and then you're
Yeah.
attacking twice. So it's going to be,
Yeah.
I think it's a -2 per.
All right.
Just remember, though, that you are also distracted. So that's
Uh-huh.
going to mean each attack has a -4 now.
Can I do a quick interruption here? I think I
Yeah,
see
man.
why it's a base. Is because it's not, my +2 isn't counted in the 9.
Oh, okay. So go ahead and roll an extra d6.
Yeah, the little question mark next to Cave Demon Rays. If you expand it,
Yeah.
it says gang up bonus +2. So I think.
It's 11 -2, which brings me down to 9, but then add the 2 back in.
So it's still an 11.
Yeah.
11.
It just
All right.
is
Yeah.
showing that way.
Okay. I mean, 11 is the same thing, so it's still shaken. Ends up being.
Want
the
to make sure I do damage.
same. You did. It's almost dead. Okay. That's going to explode again. So you're rolling the. Jeez. 10 more damage. All right. Describe how you kill it, then, Douglas.
Not the dogs!
Cheating AI. All right.
I assume I'm cutting its head right off.
Absolutely. So
Wow.
you go in and you just like decapitate this thing. Okay.
Douglas has dog issues.
All right.
Imagine that.
Double
Clearly.
D. Back to you. Did you
All right,
want to
so
try
I
to
hit-
do that? You would get -4 to all of your attacks if you tried to do that this round.
I would get -4 to some of them, -6 to others because I don't have
Oh, because the
ambidextrous.
offhand. Yeah.
Yeah, I'm gonna do it. I mean, I get a swing 4 times. It might work once.
Okay.
Hopefully.
Get a couple explosions.
Hope so.
And you do get a small bonus from Amian being there.
All right. There's the first one.
It's a miss.
There's my offhand.
Second attack goes through. There you go. That's a hit.
All right. I did it.
So, yeah, just a regular hit. If you want to roll damage on that one. I like how you hit with a -5.
Yeah, I'm
Kind of nuts.
good.
Yeah, roll damage for that.
Yep.
Not
Seven.
enough to break its toughness.
All right. Third hit.
Okay. As a miss, parry is 6. As you swing away, but it's like your fist gets caught up in its leathery wing.
Oh my god.
Okay. Go ahead, last attack. Oh, there you go. That's a hit. All
right.
Damage for the
Even
last
with a
one.
-5.
All your offhands. Okay, and that one got through. 9 points of damage will shake this one.
Yeah, I done did it.
Okay, there you go. So that's that. And then it would be the one that's all by itself's turn. It will go after Amian because Amian taunted it, and I think it can reach. Yep, it can get there. These things have very good movement. They have 8 pace when they're on the ground, 12 when they're flying. So it's going to go after the young Amian as well. And I rolled a 1 because
Oh gosh.
this game hates me. And we will go to the next round. Let's see. Amian, you are once again at the very top with a queen. You got
Okay.
2 things on you. Double D's trying to help you, but there's 2 of these things that are right on you.
All right. I don't know what else I can do with taunt.
All taunt, I'm gonna say, and like the thing is, like I didn't roll like their spirit or anything, and you just saying you were trying to get their attention. And you rolled successfully, so like I just said let's just go with that. But
You can use taunt to like distract people, much like the condition we had. I think you
Can
can make
I
them vulnerable
try
with
and taunt them that they get like tangled up, both going after me?
yeah, it is contested though, so I will be. I think I have to roll spirit against you. So if you're gonna do it for that, if like you're looking to get the condition effects, then I will roll the contest.
Okay.
So if that's what I'm gonna do, roll taunt.
I will. I'm betting that.
Okay.
There we go.
All right, this one succeeded, but not well enough. So which one were you going after, the shaken one or the not shaken one?
Let's go after the not shaken one.
Okay.
Just
Cool.
Level up.
Birds are hurtful.
Mm-hmm.
All right. Then anything else you want to do on this turn? That's your action. Do you want to try to move away? If you move away, though, that's problematic, but it's up to you.
Next action I do is at -2, right?
If you wanted to do multi-actions, you have to declare that at the start of your turn, because then all of your
okay.
actions are at that -2.
Oh, okay. Yeah, I won't do that. I'll try and move. I'll try and retreat behind Double D.
Okay. And I think one of them is distracted and one of them is shaken. So shaken, I don't think can do anything. And then the distracted one, I'm double checking to see if they're vulnerable, but because you did get a 12 on it. But at the very least, we'll make them distracted as you try to move away.
Okay.
Sorry. So yeah, they're distracted. So as you try to move away, like the distracted one that you just taunted will, I think, hit. Right? Yeah, with a 5. Does that hit you?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. And then
I think so.
Oh
does
no!
damage this time around as you run away from it.
And I
It
can
does
try and
manage.
soak it with vigor, right?
Yeah, you spend a Benny and then it'll roll. You're unable to do so.
Can I spend another Benny to re-roll that?
Yes, I believe you can, because it's just a trait test.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Okay, so that means you are fine. Because it removes the one
Sweet.
wound, and if it removes all the wounds, it also removes the shaken. Fun game. Okay, Louisa, you are next.
Louisa is going to. Let's see. She's going to relocate herself by. Let's see who's up next after me. She'll kind of hang out by Cletus and try to do a smite for him. So that'll be a faith roll. See if I do better this time. And let's spin a Benny. Try that again. Okay. So that's just a regular success. So that's a +2 damage to Cletus's fists.
Ooh.
And that's my turn.
And Cletus, it is your turn next.
All right. Well, I see my brother done got one set up. Gonna do the 1, 2. Or I suppose the 1, 2, 3, 4, 5.
You got it.
Here we go, man. I got this. I think just because of the gang up bonus. Yeah. So, thanks to my brother
Yeah.
being there, I just barely get him.
Yep.
It's weird. Why is that not showing correctly?
Yeah, it
'Cause
keeps
it-
showing with the question mark underneath where it says gang
Yeah.
up bonus +1. So like it explains it to you, but it doesn't show it numerically.
It's so weird.
Yeah, it is weird.
All right.
'Cause that's how you get to 6.
7 does not break its toughness.
I'm gonna re-roll that, man.
Yeah.
And if he was already shaken, that'd be a wound, right?
He is wounded. Yep.
Ooh.
All right.
He's gonna come running in, grab him, and headbutt him.
Okay, so then next up, it is that very creature who wounded, shaken, fails. I'll go ahead and then spend the Benny then to unshake. And I think it's going to... I think it's just going to do the Mind Piercer thing. Everyone roll a spirit test. With the exception of Joe. Joe, I think you're fine. You're far enough away. Joe as the character Joe.
Got me a 2.
7.
Okay. Let's see. Douglas, I need a roll from you as well. So this is on Cletus. Cletus, in addition to being distracted, you will take 9 points of damage from the piercing wail. Douglas, you're good to go. 5's a pass. But the rest of you are once again distracted as this thing wails away.
Did my 8 succeed?
Well, I got a double D. Double D
sorry.
Cletus. Yeah, he's got
Sorry.
Cletus in the name too. So that's on Chuck. Joe, you have gotten your wits about you. You've run away. You still hear your party fighting a bit. You turn back. You see one of them has been decapitated as Douglas stands over top of it with a logging axe covered in blood. But you see Cletus and Double D are kind of standing toe to toe with a couple of these other demons on the other side of the fire.
So I had to double move last time. So could I move and to be basically where my token is now? Because I should have been 6 past that.
Yeah, you also can roll. You can take that. You can do the whole roll your.
I don't
roll
need
your
to
pace
though.
die. Okay.
If just taking my normal move will put me where my token is.
Yeah, that's fine. I'm fine with that. Yeah.
I am within range of my slingshot.
Okay, perfect. Go ahead and
So
do it.
yeah, I want to move to be where I am there, and I'm going to sling at that one.
Sounds good.
Four.
4 is a hit because it's a range attack. So yeah, roll damage.
Eh.
4
Not
will
much.
not be enough to break its toughness, though. So it's still standing, though. It is severely wounded. And then Douglas.
Can you
Yeah, go
spend a Benny on
Damage, yeah.
damage? You can. Okay, I'm gonna go ahead and do that.
Sorry.
Oh, what a waste.
All right, Douglas, there's 2 more up. You've got the blood of one on your axe. You see 2 more to the south. Cletus and Double D have roughed up one of them. The other one looks really distracted or vulnerable, I should say. What would you like to do?
See if we can make it 2.
All right, man, go for it. So you charge on in. Okay, with the gang up bonus, I guess that hits.
Gang up bonus +2.
That is
Nice.
enough. That is definitely enough to kill it, as it already had a wound, and it's so going to
I
scribe
assume
this
I
one
just
down.
run over there screaming, "The dogs! The dogs!"
All right.
This is Douglas's day to shine.
It is.
And-
No kidding.
This other creature, seeing the 2 demons it was with, Ozzy and Harriet, have both been taken down by this bearded crazy man, going to attempt to fly away. You can go ahead and take an attack as they try to do so, Douglas, but it's going to try to flap its leather wings and get the hell out of here.
I have to do it.
Yeah, man,
Yeah, you
absolutely.
Oh, dang it. I was going to do a wild attack, but it doesn't matter.
Oh god,
Wow.
that's not a raise. You do not outnumber. You shouldn't get the gang up bonus for this one because they are not.
I think his marker might still be targeting
yeah.
the ones.
So that's just a regular hit. It's just a
Oh,
regular
yep.
hit.
Sorry. I have
Yeah, it's all good. Yeah.
I'll just roll the damage off the weapon.
Yeah, it's fine. Jeez, man.
no.
Oh, they're D4s. That sucks.
I'm going to go ahead and just Betty it because why not?
Just to see.
Might
Just
as
to
well,
see.
man.
You can do
Okay.
No, it didn't.
No.
It didn't.
You hack
Dang
at it as it leaps into the air. You kind of graze it on one of its the feet that's kind of clawed up, but it still manages to take off and get away. And you see it kind of flying off into the night. And these have a pace of 12 when they're flying, so they're
Oh.
basically 24 feet up in the air. What I'll say is, if anybody, we'll break actual initiative here. If anybody has a ranged attack that has a range of 24 or higher, like it actually can hit that far, you can take a shot and try to get it as it's flying away. Otherwise, it's going to get away. So I know that Joe's got a sling. I know a couple other people might have
A throwing
Ranged
knife,
weapons.
I don't know.
Check the range
Max
on it. I
range
think
12 on
Yeah.
my throwing knife.
the sling might. Check the
Okay.
sling's range, Joe. Okay, so yeah, so no one has like really good range on weapons, so it's just gonna. You see this last one just like get up into the sky, into this night sky, and fly away, and we'll end on that last one getting away. Okay. So as you take stock, there are these two completely butchered-looking. I'll say double D. You rolled so damn high on your occult. We'll say you probably know these as cave demons. Cletus, you've encountered them before, actually, and they are quite vicious, and they can be, when paired with others, like can be even more debilitating. But yeah, that's where we're at.
Is this because we were near a cave and we didn't look in the cave before we decided to go nighty night?
No, it's because if you go nighty night out here, there are demons in the holler, and if you are by
Especially
yourselves-
when someone throws 300 bits at the table.
I'm not going to say no to that.
Yeah, that's
All right. So yeah, you guys are all set. Okay. So we'll say the next couple hours are unevent. You know, like you have probably about 2 more hours before dawn. I don't know if anyone sleeps in that time, but you look around. The kid hasn't come back. You got.
I
the
imagine
body.
I go directly to sleep.
Yeah, just fall back over. Dream about dogs. And I don't think anyone took any lasting damage. I don't think anyone took anything because that's this game. What would you all like to do?
I'm gonna spend a little bit of time getting like a sled, kind of put together, get some logs and stuff, because I'm just gonna make me like an Appalachian wheelbarrow, and that way I can just take all these bodies back, show them off. Like, look, I don't care what that kid said. There's demons all over the place. He was working with them. He was dancing.
Okay.
So, like demons. I'm like, yeah.
Are we saying it's morning?
That's fine. Yeah, it was pretty close to dawn when they ambushed. So we'll say time passes, dawn comes.
I want to see if there's any sign of the kid. I want to see if I can track him.
Yeah, roll survival, but take -2 on this since it's
Sure.
a whole night has passed.
Mm-hmm.
Maybe help out too.
If you want to roll it too, go ahead, Douglas.
Okay.
Same -2 though. Okay. You do notice, you do pick up some tracks. It does seem like he was traveling kind of northeasternly in away from the Weaver Falls convention. So it doesn't look like he was going back to the convention. It looks like he was kind of going off elsewhere. You would know that there are a couple other towns in that direction. There's towns scattered about here and there, logging towns and things. He might be going to like Wolf Lake or Stumptown, which is a ways away. But like you can tell he's definitely not going back to the convention.
Good. Ain't no one there right us
Enough
out.
for me.
Okay.
Now I want to follow him all the way to wherever he's going.
So what's next? Are we heading back or anything
I
else?
think we're heading back with all of our demon bodies. Look at all the demons we got.
Makeshift wheelbarrow?
Appalachian wagon.
Oh, if there's a
Uh-huh.
wheel anywhere,
Wheelbarrow.
but yeah.
No wheel.
It's just you're dragging
Just
3
brute strength.
demon bodies on the ground.
Imagine
Got
one
my
of those,
shoulder,
like,
you got double D shoulder.
got like
Okay.
logs, and you like roll it all, and then you gotta like pick it up and move it and roll it.
No, we
I mean,
got
it's
two
just a really gross
hosses here.
fireman
We
carry.
just- yeah.
Okay. With the light out, it's not that difficult to sort of navigate your way back. Series of forests and woodland area and stuff. You find the stream, that stream that was nearby that you kind of track along the way. It makes it a little bit easier to work your way back. We'll say, I would imagine what Douglas. Are you usually out in front, being a mountain man yourself? Are you like the sort of moving through the woods type of guy? If that's the case, roll a notice test. And if anyone else you think you're like the one that's out in front, and if you say that, I'm gonna treat this like whenever we do like ambushes and shit. Like if you're saying that, like that's the ramification for that. But anyone else you think that might be out in front, roll a notice test.
I mean, I'm sneaky. I don't know if you want me up front with you. It depends. If you like doing your own thing by yourself, then no. Cletus wouldn't really be up front unless you ask him to.
Joe is.
Okay, do it. So yeah, whoever's out front. So I think Douglas makes sense being the mountain man, tracker, hunter guy. Joe, if you want to do it as well. So go ahead, both of you roll notice tests, and then Cletus is up to you.
I need to improve my notice someday.
Oh,
Says the person that
Who
rolls
are
a
you,
13.
man? Who is this guy? Ridiculous. Okay,
he's been deep fake. This isn't Dan.
it's not
Yeah.
Dan.
It's
It's
actually Jamie. No, the whole time.
So Joe and Douglas, as you guys are kind of out front a bit, maybe Double D and Cletus are kind of each taking one, like you were saying before, dragging the bodies behind. Louise and Amian, you're kind of in between somewhere. Dogs and Joe, you hear the sounds of gunshots and screams coming from the convention site, and it's multiple gunshots, and screaming is like constant here and there, shouting, things like that.
Or if there was
Bodies and running.
I mean, maybe nobody cares about these demons anymore, but
We're close enough. We can always bring them out to look at them if we need to.
yeah. Try to remember that the like the vehicle full of people we ran into earlier.
Yeah. So can we kind of like move up quickly and assess?
Yeah, I assume Douglas and Joe like let you all know what's going on. But yeah, you guys can move up. Do you move up quickly? Do you move up stealthily? Is there a preference in how you approach this?
Stealthy.
Okay, go ahead.
Stealth.
Go ahead and roll that.
I definitely don't want to get shot in the face.
Man, I actually kind of want to carry one of these bodies up there. Put
I'm
it to where
allergic
it's
to
just around the
lead.
corner. Freak him out.
Hey guys.
That would have been a pass for me. I'm not still distracted. I just didn't think that.
Oh, I need to get rid of my distracted. Thank you for the reminder.
Okay.
There we go.
So as long as no one crit fails, you probably can get close enough to get some info without anything horrible happening. All right, so it looks like mostly successes.
Oh, let me roll it here. Sorry.
Yeah, that's cool. Again, I'm just looking, make sure no one crit fails.
Oh.
Not a crit
It's not
fail.
a crit fail,
Just a
technically.
fail.
Just a regular old fail.
All right, so as you all approach the convention, Douglas, you kind of get, you maybe you lag behind a bit. You kind of get caught up in something, like maybe one of your packs gets caught up in a bush that you're trying to sneak through, and that kind of results in you lagging behind the rest of the group. Everyone else kind of gets up a little further, and when you look out towards where the main stage was, you can see that there are about a dozen company guards that are moving about through where just yesterday, Douglas and a few, won his third place prize, and you can see that they're just sort of using their kind of stun batons, like beating people, shooting out guns. You see there's a handful of folks that you recognize, like Joe, you see like Arvel Smote and some of the boys from County Hell are kind of trying to fight back. Double D, you see some of the two Midsummer Children, excluding the woman who flirted with you. You see them trying to they're not fighting so much as they're trying to drag some of the wounded away, or like they're trying to help them into the wood line. Louisa, you can see that like Towie Hicks is like kind of off to the side in this like duel with like two of these company guards. Remember, Towie's like this 6'10" dude, and he's just like swinging this big old axe around. But you see like it's basically this huge fight, and most of the folks are running. You see like people are just scattering for the hills. You see nearby, kind of over where some of the other people who drove either you know, like jalopies like yourselves, or like the scooters or horses or things, they're kind of off to the side. You do see that there is a large kind of truck, similar to what you saw when you were on the road coming here. Not necessarily, you're not sure if it's the same one, but the same style. Kind of just drove up and just kind of parked nearby, and this is all kind of happening. Now, I don't want to do a combat for this, because that's what Nightmare is made of. So let's do a dramatic task instead. So dramatic task is it's like a skill endeavor. We'll do rounds. We'll pick out cards. You just describe something you do, and there is something bad could potentially happen to you if you fail. But you just say what you do, and then you roll a skill test, and we'll kind of narrate as we go. Successes and raises will give you tokens, and by the end of, we'll say 2 rounds, if you can get to like 12 tokens, we'll say you successfully, beat them back, or rescue or something like that. So I'd rather just do that. Is that cool?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
All right. So let's deal out the cards. And what I'll also say is, you guys know that there are plenty of people that you have met, and if as you're describing your actions, you include one of those NPCs in your action of what you do, you can take a +1 on your roll as you kind of flush out what you're doing. All right, so let's go ahead and get that going. So this is going to again give out cards for this. So we are going to go into that kind of. All right, so dramatic tasks. So the only thing you have to look out for basically in a dramatic task is if you draw a club. Club means complication. 3 of you drew clubs, but Louisa, you get to go first. So Louisa, all of you have successfully snuck up. No one's really noticed you yet. You see just pandemonium's happening. People are getting beaten. Some people are already laying on the ground. The stage is kind of broken down a bit. You see the crowd. You can tell that there's people you recognize. What do you do?
Okay.
I don't like that.
So I have one question that I should probably know by now, but I don't. If a range on a power. Okay. So Smite says range SM, which is short range, not touch.
Yeah, don't worry about range. Just it's just a skill test. Everything's don't worry about ranges. We're not measuring that kind of stuff. All you just do is narrate what you're doing. That's all you're doing.
Okay. So I want to try to smite a couple people that are fighting. So kind of help them with their fighting.
You do see your friend Towie off to the side. He's got 2 on him, and he's holding his own, but you can tell it's just a matter of time. Okay.
And so then I can add power points to add additional targets to this. So let me roll, see how I do. And so that's where you can kind of decide how many people would potentially be able to be within that.
I'll say the 2 on him. Let's just, again, this is just, don't worry about the mechanics of it. It's really just describe what you're doing, roll a test. That's all it really is. And you can take a +1 if you're incorporating Towie into this.
Okay, so then the +1 would give me a 7.
Mm-hmm. Which is a success, not a raise. So it would give you 1 token towards the dramatic test.
Yeah. And then I will spend the power point so that I can make it go to another person. Okay. If that adds
it doesn't matter. Again, all of this is very a fluid narrative thing. Don't worry about that. So describe what happens as you charge in on the 2 of them. You successfully cast your spell. Towie's there. What does it look like as you go in to try to help?
So I am trying to kind of make it a little bit less obvious. I'm not standing in the middle of everything because it is, visible. So I'm trying to, kind of get under, kind of like a body or something, and kind of, can just kind of rub my hands together, and you kind of see, kind of this might happen, and hopefully hands in a way that they can't quite tell where it came from.
Okay. All right. And so, there's so much chaos happening. There's wagons and barrels that have been stacked up where people have been drinking booze, and so you can probably hide behind one. You can see that this glow suddenly appears from behind the barrels, which is the contours of the barrels, and then all of a sudden, their own weapons kind of burn back on them, and they let go of them. They fall to the ground, leaving Towie this opening to just kind of swipe through them. Okay. Joe, you got a complication with a club. So basically, a club means that anything you do is at a -2. And so, like, we just kind of narrate. It's just the randomness of.
What is my motorcycle club? How are they faring? What's going on?
Yeah, you see Arvel Smote and the two guys that he's with. You can see that they're trying to fight their way over towards like where all the jalopies are, and they're over by where the big old flatbed truck that likely drove all these company guards here. They're kind of fighting a crew of those trying to get past them. That's what they're up to.
Is the flatbed truck unaccompanied currently?
I'll say, I mean, like, no one's in it. They've all emptied it, and they're all like.
Joe's going right
fighting.
for that flatbed truck. Going to put that thing in gear. He's going to run down some company boys.
Okay, absolutely.
Nice.
It sounds like a driving test. It will be at -2 because of the complications. So it's probably like, like it's the steering's kind of weird or something like that. It's a little different than you're used to.
I got no chips, so here we go.
We have audience bunnies.
We have audience stuff, and you don't need them.
Yeah,
You don't need them. So, what does it look like as you get into this car and drive this around? Is that it will?
Yeah,
add it
so
to-
like I rev that engine to get everybody to look my way, and as soon as those company boys that are between me and my in the motorcycle crew, I just run them down. I start pointing at the back of the truck and just telling my boys, "Get on!"
And like they all kind of look at each other for a second. It's like, and you could just hear like maybe in the like if there's a mirror or something, you look back, you just see like, man, that boy, what the hell's with that boy? And they climb on the back of the flatbed. Beautiful, perfect. All right, next up, Amian, you also have a complication. As things will be a little bit trickier for you for some reason, and you can narrate that as part of it. You can also choose not to do anything if you really want, but yeah, any action you take this round while it's -2.
Okay. I am not too sure. I guess I want to look for the guy that I met up with. I forget his name. It's like Bullfrog. Right?
Yeah, Bullfrog, the bass player and singer.
Mm-hmm.
No,
What
blues
is he
player, I should say.
doing?
You can see he's up on the stage, actually. As the stage has suffered damage, you can see it's on fire. Like somebody either threw something or they caught it on fire.
Oh.
And they're trying to, like, they have all these, like, there's all this different gear from these different musicians and stuff that's up there. There's other people. You can tell that a couple of the musicians on the stage are injured as well. He's up there trying to help them to safety. That's what he's doing.
Yeah, I'll assist with that.
Okay.
Try and offset my -2.
Okay.
Again,
As long as if you incorporate one of those NPCs, you can take a +1 to your rolls.
Okay.
So net -1 for you.
Okay. What role would that be? To try and aid them.
What you're doing? Like, what do you want to do? It could be athletics. It could be taunting. It could be you could do the taunt thing again if you want. You could do.
Sure. Try and get their. Lessen some of the attention on them, give them more room.
Okay.
We'll do that. Modifier -1.
I like to think this is Amian. He didn't sing before. He starts trying to sing now, maybe. Do you want to reroll that?
I'm going to throw my last penny on that.
Okay, good thing.
There you go.
If you fail during a complication, the dramatic task actually fails, but like Joe and Amian both passed. So you shout out. You can describe it however you want, but I like to think like you start singing, like because you couldn't do it before, and now you just suddenly start singing.
That works.
And everyone just turns to look at you at this point. You're just like confused, and they're like, and that gives the like Bullfrog and the others enough time to like drag the rest of the folks who need clearing out off the back. And he kind of looks at you like as he's backing off, and he kind of like gives you like a nod, but you also notice like he's impressed. Like there's like in a moment of like how impressed that it is to suddenly do it. Like there's something to Amian. Maybe he should be investing points in performance. Cletus, you're up.
All right, man. Now I'm wondering now. Got me a creepy demon on my back.
Uh-huh.
Got me a 13 on that sneak trick. Is there any chance I've been able to sneak up on one of these bastards?
Absolutely. Yeah, no problem. You're an Appalachian ninja.
You know, I'm feeling a little bit squirrely. Like, I got a plan, but I also want to be a little bit of an asshole. And I'm sorry about that, but I'm looking for that big sumbitch who's missing a nipple. Maybe he's in the middle of fighting with these guys.
Yeah, you see a couple of the gouging guys off to the they're off over by the gouging circle or just coming from the gouging circle. You're not sure whether they're coming or going or they're trying to flee or fight, but yeah, you see a few of the gouging guys over there. Sure.
All right, what I want to do is I want to find the couple boy who's going like that guy's the biggest and the baddest. He's probably the one they're trying to get. I want to take this here demon. I want to sneak up real good on him. And I want to do an Alabama slam the demon down on the company man, and just let that stupid big son of a bitch missing a nipple start screaming in terror.
You slam it down. He's just, ah! You want to do like athletics or something? What do you want to do?
Yeah, basically I want to use athletics to throw the demon onto a company man, but
Please
also
do.
terrify this other guy.
Please do. Yes.
Okay.
Oh my goodness, that's fantastic. 6 is good. I should also note that if you do get raises, you get extra tokens, and you could potentially have more. So,
Okay.
but that's good. If you're good right there. If that's it. You guys are on pace. Okay, so this thing throws out, lands. He screams in terror at the same time. He looks up at you. Confusion in his face. What are you doing, man?
I'm helping you out, man. Curb stomp him already.
Man, use your fist, not the body, or whatever the hell that thing is. All right. Double D, you're up next.
Yep. So I look into this field and I see all the thing going wrong in it, but I see that my maybe wife over out there helping the injured.
Okay.
I'm gonna look. I'm like, I gotta help her out. Gotta do something. And I see Joe driving the truck, the flatbed. I'm like, get on. I'm gonna like turn into like a freight train, choo choo, and like run on through and just like barreling through everyone. And I want to scoop up all the sick people and then the possible wife, and toss her up on the shoulders. I got them all. I'm gonna run up and I'm just gonna and like toss them all on the back of that flatbed so we can get away.
Maybe one of the kids that you ruined the apple bobbing contest for.
Yep.
Athletics, you think? I think that sounds like athletics.
Yeah, I'll go with that.
All right. And remember, everyone gets +1 if you invoke a NPC.
All right, you got to post the numbers in there.
I might cut it down to 1, Melissa, since we're getting late.
Yeah, I'm gonna Benny that.
Okay. It is a pass.
No, I need to do better.
It's
I did the exact same thing. All right, I do it.
Just a pass. Now you do everything you said you do. You lift up the woman, the future wife, and she's
Maybe
like,
wife,
"Ah!"
possible wife.
And she's like, help me, help. Oh,
Hey,
Bill
just,
did?
I'm saving you. Yeah, getting all these people hurt out. I'm gonna save the day.
get that little boy right there. I was helping him. You see?
As I run him by and just scoop him up with my foot and toss him on my back.
Okay, and then there's my other friend right there. You see the other midsummer guy who's like on the ground, like, oh, my knee. Like, grab him too.
You seeing him?
He's right there. Pick him up, please.
All right, I grab him, pick him up.
And then 4 or 5 more along the way, she asks you to pick up as well.
Yeah.
And so by the time you get there, you just have kids hanging from you. All right. So it comes down to this. We're at time, so I'm not going to do a second round, but this is the final round. As long as Douglas can pass this,
Pressure.
everything's going to end as happily as it can. But if Dan's luck turns on him now,
It
There's
would.
a reason why he's been doing so good all night.
I know I saw the opportunity. I'm like, we could end on a Dan roll.
Yeah.
It's set up for the catastrophic failure.
You do have audience dice, so there's go.
Yeah,
Yeah,
we
yeah.
do.
So how does Douglas get into this?
I was gonna go look for my only one friend I made here, my poetry lady.
Yeah, sure. You see the
See if we
poetry
can
lady, yeah.
antagonize her.
She is running something fierce towards the tree line, not towards where the gouging circle is, but you can see her she's just running off to the west, and she's being chased by one of these company guards where like you can see them kind of firing like down at the ground, almost trying to nick her as she's running.
I was gonna try and show off my other skill. my axe throwing skill since I did it at the beginning of the competition.
Oh, this is what we're resting.
Please crit fail and get the lady.
Campaign ends. Oh, jeez. That would be the
I'm bringing it around though. It was in the competition.
If you crit fail,
Mhm.
you will accidentally kill her as you will miss and you will hit this. Jeremy put it out in the world. I'm following up.
I know.
The stakes are there.
I feel I have a crit fail coming. It's just athletics for this, or
Yeah, athletics for throwing weapons. Yeah, and you
And
get
+1 because she's
here we go,
one.
guys.
Okay.
All right.
Yay.
Describe what happens as you see him chasing her down, and you kind of get up. You kind of chase him down behind. Like, what does it look like?
I like slow down for a second, take a couple good steps, and just two-hand heft it.
And just and it just like gets him in the back, and he lands and just slides along in the mud on the ground. She's still running, and you see she reaches the tree line, looks over her shoulder, and she sees like the guy sliding across in the mud with the axe sticking out of his back, and she sees you, and she just like, thank you so much. Okay, so with that, I'll say that although they managed to invoke a lot of pain and damage as people who were hurt, a couple people who were killed prior to you getting here, you do manage, with the help of many of these other groups, these NPCs that you've met along the way, you do manage to fight off what you learn were Royster Whitaker's men, which is one of the big the big boys that you've heard about. Like, apparently word of this particular convention kind of got back to him somehow, and he kind of sent out this crew. So the wrap up, we'll say, as like everyone's kind of cleaning up, they're kind of checking for bodies, they're patching folks up, they're cleaning up, they're getting back into their cars or into their or just walking, horses, whatever it might be, as the convention is clearly breaking up at this point. Arville Smoke kind of comes up to you, Joe. He's like, boy, I don't know whether you're touched by something pleasant or something evil, but whatever the hell's buried in them blood of yours, man, it's fierce is what it is. You need any help, man, you can go ahead. You can give us a call, man. We'll give you a hand. We owe you for this, and fella like yourself, man, we'll give you a hand. No problem.
Turn one of his knives to him.
Nope. Thank you as well. And again, they all kind of look at each other.
That one killed a demon maybe 6 hours
shit.
ago.
He kind of lets it go and drops it on the ground. He picks it up. And like, these are fairly badass looking guys. And as they're walking away, again, you hear like his two, the two jabronis that have been working around, they are teasing him along the way, like, hey boss, why you drop that knife on the ground, man? The boy said he killed a demon. Why are you afraid of it? I mean, he stared down a demon and killed, and you're afraid of the knife that killed him. Like, shut up, will ya? You surprised me is all. What the hell's wrong with y'all? And they start walking away off a bit. Let's see. What else? Bullfrog comes up to Amian afterwards, kind of seeks you out. He says, boy, you got a surprisingly good singing voice there, and I don't necessarily know all what you're doing with your little resistance coup thing happening here, but you ever want to give a little bit more practice to that singing, maybe learn a few songs and tales and such, come on down to Terrapin Corner, and we're an older population, but we can teach a thing or two to youngins, and I can make sure that voice goes a lot further than what you're already doing with it.
Nods and be like, oh yeah, I guess for some reason my nerves were bad until people were dying, so.
Yeah, man. Push comes to shove, you shove back, and that's all that matters. All right. So he kind of does the ruffle of your head again, big tall dude, and he kind of heads off as well. The Midsummer Children, the future wife,
maybe wife.
Future
Maybe
family.
wife.
Maybe wife.
Yeah, she says to you, well, Double D, I appreciate the time that you were able to dedicate to us, friend, and I tell you, it would be my honor and to host you and your, and your friends, of course, if you ever want to come on out to Fayfall. I am sure the Emerald Divine will be willing to open up the doors of our abodes to you and your folk. Brash and a bit uncouth you might be. I think you've got a good heart.
Yeah. Last time I saw the doctor, he said it was real big.
Well, you never change. And she kind of leans over and she kind of gives you a little kiss on the cheek and puts a little flower in your hair.
Oh, all right. All right.
And then she backs off as well.
Cletus, you see that? She done get you a kiss. That's
I
great. I'm
did,
going to go
man.
sit down.
You were unstoppable.
Hey, damn train. That's what you.
Now I'm best man. I ain't flower girl. You ain't pulling that nonsense on me.
Not again.
Not again.
Got it.
Let's see. Towie Burns. I can't remember if it's Towie Burns or Towie Hicks. I always forget the last name. But
Towie
Towie
Hicks.
comes over to you, Louisa, and thanks you. And kind of, you see him kind of looking at you. He's like, you got some secrets. It seems you got a bit of the, folk magic in you. I see.
There are things we don't talk about out loud.
Yeah, it's all right. No one's listening, and I don't think any around here is gonna say nothing about it. You're in
Good to
good
know.
company. Next time y'all are in the Great Craggies or whatever, you need anything, you want to see the splendor of the great beast, maybe even a talking wolf, y'all come let me know. I'll show you some things. No hunting, but I'll show you some things. Way to the outside. See the Crooked Mountain Peak up there? He kind of points over to the Crooked Mountain. Yeah, that tends to be about where I'll linger. So some folks around here know where to find me. Just say a big old fella named Towie. They can point you one way or the other. You ever need nothing, you just let me know.
Well, thank you. We've certainly got our work cut out ahead of us.
Yeah, thank you, man.
Trying to make sure things like this don't keep happening to our folk.
Sure it is. Yeah. And I would say, be careful around the wardens. They don't much like the big boys. But not every one of them, well, they have a very specific viewpoint towards those who might be invading the environments around here. So as long as you ain't doing harm to it, they ain't gonna do harm to you. I can see to that.
We try our best, unless there's demonic ones like those, and she'll point to the body that Cletus hurled at one of them.
Yeah, that ain't a beast. That's a demon. I don't care much about that at all. I'm talking about the big bears, those great beasts, Fenrirs, things like that. That's what I care about, and that's what wards care about as well.
Understood.
All right, then. Take care. Travel safe. And he kind of takes off, and then we'll say Douglas and Cletus, maybe you're the last two. Maybe Douglas, you're just having a nice talk with Trini, who she rips off a nice page from her book, kind of folds it up, hands it over to you. You open it up, you see there's a sketch of you, kind of throwing an axe, and this beautiful poem that she has written on it. She just says, and there's a note on the back, if you're ever in Boss Cage, come go ahead and look me up. I owe you a jar of moonshine. I do, probably several. So she passes it over to you. And then Cletus, the guy who you spoke to, probably one of the dudes over by the gouging circle, John Hivley, he comes up and he just as everyone's kind of looking around at the bodies and stuff, and he's like, this is Royster's doing. It's damn well what it is. Yeah, I gotta tell you, man, could have been a lot worse if it wasn't for you. I mean, I don't know if I would necessarily arm myself with the corpse of a creature such as that, but it got the job done, you know.
Made that big fella scream. It was real. It was worth it.
Yeah, well, he ain't much, really. I mean, he's tough around here, but like I said, man, you want to get in the real gouging circles, you gotta head a little bit up into Stygian, man. And if you
Okay,
want to
man.
get back at Royster for all this, I was talking to some of the other folks around here. I can't find him no more. Our boy Otis Ray, he was saying that, well, Gilmer, just up the ways a bit,
Mm-hmm.
they've been having a bit of a standoff with some of Whitaker's folks. You know, might be about time they're ready to kind of up and turn on them, from what I hear. If your folk looking for,
great.
yeah, if you folk looking for, you know, the good people to stand up and support you, then maybe you all head on that way.
Well, that sounds like a hell of a time. Okay.
And you head over to Furpo, man. You getting them gouging circles. I don't know, man. You might not have no nipples left. It's pretty raunchy up there and tough. But
That's
you
fun.
tough
I'm
ones, too.
raunchy.
That's true. All right. Well, if you decide to head over to Gilmore, you just let me know. I'll show you the way. Otherwise, you all have a good time. I'm sure I'll catch you around the holler.
All right, man. Thank you.
All right. And with that, the last thing we see is like Vernalyn Cash, the organizer of the whole thing, kind of comes over, thanks you all, pledges her support for whatever she can do. She's got a big network. She's going to spread the word. You all are good people. And she's going to, you know, give her best to MMA. And we'll say that's where the convention ends. And that's what we'll end for tonight as well. All right.
All right.
We did it.
I done did it.
I like Dan with the callback to the axe throwing
Yeah.
in the final battle.
Dan was
I
on
know.
fire tonight.
Dan, you are going to have the worst night on Wednesday, I think.
Yes.
It's going to be
I think
Uh-huh.
the worst night. All right. So
I'm just gonna try to not roll at all.
Exactly. Don't worry. Bullrec will still say you're the greatest. Doesn't matter.
all
You're
that
luring
matters.
them into he's just luring you into false sense of security. All right. Let's see. You also all get an advance as well.
Woohoo.
So don't forget that.
Ooh.
You can do that before next time. Why don't we do a closing round table here? See what everyone's doing this week. Chuck, what's DOK doing?
Oh my gosh, that's me. Wednesday, we're going to be doing some Thunder Rift Fantasy Age, where we'll get to watch Dan's character make up for the great roles he did this session. Thursday, we're going to be doing some Tales from the Loop. Friday, depending on Joe, we should be wrapping up Anvia. And then Saturday during the day over on Grim and Perilous Plays, we're going to be doing some Fallout 2D20. And then that night we got something on Goodman Games, but I'll let Bert touch on that.
Right on. Jeremy, tell us about this Patreon.
Doing read some Patreon. Comic books, art, RPG assets. It's a good time.
Right on. Bert, what's Steam Steal and Murder doing tonight or doing this week?
Tuesday, we've got some first edition Dungeons and Dragons going on. Friday is BX Dungeons and Dragons. This Saturday, we'll be on the official Goodman Games channel running some Weird Frontiers, horror, Western, dungeon crawl classics. Yeah, that's what we got going on.
Cool. And then as for us here, let's see. Friday we got Mothership again. Saturday we've got One Ring Second Edition, and next Monday we should be back to Deadlands, hopefully, as we try to get back into a rhythm with our Savage Worlds games. Thank you for everyone who hung out tonight. Thank you for those of you who threw out some bits, add some complications, all that kind of stuff. Thank you for those of you who are watching this later on YouTube, and thank you for the raid as well. We will pay it forward. We're going to raid our friends over at Diesel Shot who are still playing some D&D. So follow that raid, watch some D&D, and have a good rest of your week. We'll see you later. Bye-bye.
Goodbye.